Welcome to Rapid Ridge Farms, where we do things like our grandparents used to. From the way we raise our animals to the simple and delicious recipes we make. We love building community through food and agriculture. Here's what's happening at the farm.
Hey, we are here in Cape Elizabeth, Maine. We are with Caitlin and Jody Jordan at Alewives. Am I saying that correct?
Alewivesbrookfarm.
Alewivesbrookfarm. And I think Alewives is actually the name of a fish that's in a stream here.
Yeah, the brook runs the length of the farm, and it's a little silver fish that likes to swim the length of the brook.
How cool. So the super interesting thing about this farm is not only do they grow all these delicious vegetables, I mean, you can see here with all the, this is broccoli, and we've got corn, we've got green beans.
I'll show pictures from the store because we have a lot.
So here's the really, really cool thing. They do ocean to table also. And so your brother
Tucker
does the lobster harvesting from here just out into the bay here. So I think that is so cool.
Is it a bay?
Bay,
Feel free to
ocean.
correct whenever.
Yeah, it's ocean.
If I'm wrong, you just tell me.
The cove.
The
Goes out of the
cove.
cove.
We're from landlocked Arkansas, so we don't know all these
No
marine
saltwater in
terms.
Arkansas. I just know I ate two lobsters down at the lobster shack.
That's
And
the
probably
and I
wearing
wanted the
half.
third one. It was so good. But anyhow, the brother runs the lobster operation, and I just think that's so cool. And so, can you tell us a little bit about your history of your family in this area, and just kind of a little bit about what you do?
This my sister should get the history major.
We
She was real
tried.
good, but I couldn't get her to talk on the camera.
She so I mean I'm the 13th generation here in Cape Elizabeth. So about 400 years ago, my great grandfather, Reverend Robert Jordan, landed on Richmond's Island, which you can go right down to the cove that my brother goes out of and you can see. But so we've been farming here in Cape Elizabeth for that long. I'm the third generation on this farm, but we've been bouncing around here and there before that.
Yeah, and you can't see it here, but standing where I'm looking at, we can actually see the ocean.
When the leaves are gone.
When the leaves are gone. If you back out just a little bit, you can see it. But you can see we're that close to the ocean. So
Makes for a nice long growing season.
oh, I
The
bet.
fields go almost right down to the ocean, so it gives us a longer time before frost in the fall.
So the ocean breezes keep things from frosting in this valley.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think about that.
Very interesting.
When is your first frost typically?
First frost?
15th to 20th of October.
Wow, that's about the same as
By then,
ours.
sometimes it's not until Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Wow, but it's frosting on the higher points around here.
We're pretty low right straight through.
The fact, but it's your proximity to the ocean that makes the
So
difference.
you may not frost here, but your neighbors a quarter mile away may have a frost.
Bill, like who you just met, the other farmer, Bill.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's got different land, different spots, and then there's the other Jordan's farm.
So neat, so neat. So tell us a little bit about what you grow here and how you market it.
We grow a little bit of everything. I mean, vegetables from beans to broccoli down to, we do strawberries and squash and zucchini and everything in between. And then we do the store here, which we just rebuilt a couple years ago. So that's open 7 days a week, every day but Christmas. You can stop in, pick up whatever you need. And then we do farmers markets. So we pack up and go to markets on Wednesdays, Saturdays, and Sundays. And then
These are some hard-working
bring
folks
them
here.
bring them
Wow.
right to the people.
Farming is hard. We've never been away from the farm as long as we are this time, ever. Luckily, we have some really good folks back home that are making that work for us.
That helps.
Yes,
It helps
yes,
a lot.
It does.
That helps a
And
lot.
we're not farrowing right now. We're not farrowing pigs. We're not. Our birthing season's over. We got our boars and our bulls turned in, and if we can just keep the chickens moving forward. I mean, you know how hard a broiler chicken is to grow.
We don't do broilers. We only have a couple hundred layers out there.
Oh, okay.
And then, so we also have the pigs, and we raise turkeys for Thanksgiving.
All right here on this
Yeah, I was
This
just
little
thinking
piece.
you should bring you out back and check out the pigs. You can see.
That's awesome.
That's our new. It's been about 5 years we've been raising a couple pigs.
Cool.
How do you like that?
That's great.
Dad laughs.
That's my great idea, and Dad does most of the work, all of it.
Well, actually, your sister said earlier there's 4 siblings, and it takes all of y'all to do what Dad used to do
growing up.
by
It's very
himself.
true. I mean, granted, we've expanded a lot, but yes, well, it takes all of us to do everything.
Now, Mr. Jordan, we were asking earlier about changes, and you said there'd been a lot of changes. Do you mind sharing again what you said was the biggest change you've seen since you've been
Biggest
first
change is
farming
just
here?
houses.
Houses?
Used to be over 50 farms and just Cape Elizabeth Maine and growing iceberg lettuce and blue hubbard farms. Now we're down to
There's
3 or 4 farms.
4 major farms, and then there's little farms, but there's just 4 major farms left in town that, you know, it's their full-time job.
How receptive do you find that the restaurants locally are to using locally sourced produce?
Some are better than others. I mean, like literally just this morning I got an email from a new restaurant that's opening in Portland. They reached out wanting to know if they can buy wholesale from us and pick it up from you at the farmer's market. And so we don't typically do a lot of wholesaling just because we got so much else going on. But I said, well, if you're gonna pick it up at market, I'm already going to market. I can, you know, we can try it and see how it works. But for the most part, some are better than others. Some claim to be doing more than they are. So
You mean it happens that way in Maine also?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
So, you know, we have the running joke, you know, it's, you know, we have this big menu and it has locally sourced basil.
That's our favorite line we've ever seen on a
Locally
printed
sourced
menu.
basil.
That's how they supported local farmers. But
Yeah.
anyway, so I
Yeah.
find it,
yep. Oh yeah.
Happens everywhere.
it does.
That's why it's so important as a consumer that when you go in and sit down at a restaurant is knowing where your food comes from and having a relationship with your restaurants that you use and knowing actually where they're sourcing that product from.
And that they care to support, truly care to
Oh,
support.
it's totally true. It's funny. You think about like everybody wants to say it, support local, you know, buy local, support your farms, but you know, and unfortunately, yeah, it does cost more. Like you know, I can't mass produce like they can, you know, and whatever you buy at Walmart or whatever. I don't have the ability to do that, but I would think my product's better, so that you should be wanting to pay that few extra dollars.
Well, it's unquestionably better, and the fact that dollar spent with your company, with your farm, will probably change hands 7 or 8 times in this community.
You would think, yeah,
Yeah, that's the national average is 7 times.
that's good.
Yeah,
That's a
dollars
good- yeah.
That,
So
dollars that are
it's-
spent local.
Supporting one farm
Right.
actually helps support your local economy so much better. And also, talking about the quality, you were talking about 0 waste. You use the shells, the guts. That's how you fertilize. So
Yep.
you are doing things in a real natural, sustainable, regenerative way.
Exactly. And then like all veggie waste, I mean that's what we feed to the pigs to grow the pigs. And so it's like we have, you know, try to have as little waste as possible.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah, we have a on farm restaurant, and a lot of our refuse that we have goes to our sows,
Yep.
our farrowing. It's not their total diet, but it does help, and it provides a way for us to use up, you know, our other stuff rather than throw it away.
But once again, another connection between 2 totally different farms and 2 totally different ways with similar mindsets
Oh, yeah.
of trying to give back to the soil.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
Anything else? Because I'd love to see the pigs.
I would too. Do you have anything you'd like to show us here? Do you have time?
Oh, I got time. Always got
I
time.
always have time. Wink, wink, nod, nod.
Always have time because the day just keeps going. What you don't get done today is
It'll be
tomorrow.
there.
Well, we
But-
just work half the time. We just got to
That's it.
figure out what half the day we want to work.
Well, that's exactly true.
Problem is, with this time of the year, we're working more than half the day.
Yep.
Your daylight hours are long here right now.
Yes, which helps.
That does help.
You just don't need to sleep.
That's right.
Let's go check out some other places on the farm.
So Caitlin is over here showing us her pigs. She's excited. This is a newer venture for them. And as you see, you'll see leftover vegetables in here that she feeds them. But we were just communicating and laughing about when I asked, did you ever think you'd be a farmer? And her answer was?
I'm a lawyer.
She's a lawyer.
So no, I didn't plan on becoming a farmer. I planned on making millions being a lawyer. How silly.
She's real smart.
Well, now you can make thousands being a farmer.
Yeah.
And working longer hours. But she
Sleeping
is very
far
devoted
less.
to her family and her family's farm.
Angela, they only work 364 days a year.
That's right. But even still, on that last day, animals still need to be taken care of.
Always.
I just don't deal with customers.
Do you ever feel lazy on Christmas?
Not really, because we got so much. Christmas is the only holiday in our family that matters. I mean, you know, you have all the others, but because we're open, we're working, it's like Christmas is the day when it's all family and you make all the special food that you never have time to do and all that stuff. And so, no, Christmas is a long day for me.
Lots of enjoyment. Now, you
Yeah.
also talked about a lot of your family lives here, and we were talking about when the pandemic hit, how that changed things here at the farm.
Yeah, it was incredible to see all the support from the community. They came out wanting to, you know, eat local and know where their food came from, and it was great to see the response, and everybody wanted to support and make sure everything was happening. It's kind of bittersweet now to look at, like, where'd all those people go? I mean, like, we're still here, and you know, they went back to their routines and their easier things to do, you know, make it one-stop shopping instead of hitting all the local spots to do all of their shopping. It's just interesting how, you know, a global pandemic can open people's eyes and then we just fall right back into routine.
That's right. Yes. Don't forget your local farmers. We're all still here working hard, raising food for you.
Yep.
Not changing how we do things. So, you got four. How old are the pigs? Do you think?
Four
when
pigs.
Are they going?
They
For their
go
we
to,
call it their one bag day. We
Yeah.
said that our animals were the happiest except they have one bad day.
They go for their bad day on November 15th. So we got them at the April when they were both. They were little. They were the littlest pigs we've gotten. So I don't know if they were 6 weeks old when we got them.
So they're free ranging, and I also love how you repurpose. So no waste here. I love that.
And so their original house right there is actually made of wood from our old farm stand that I tore down a few years ago
No
to build the new one. And then, you know, just an old truck cover that was kicking around, because if you take a good little view of the stuff, this would be what I call Jody's stuff when I'm
That's her daddy.
yeah, when I'm not, you know, using foul language. This is all Dad's stuff.
But he's got anything he needs.
Yep.
He knows where it's all
knows
at,
where
and
it
it's
is.
all necessary.
It's every nut and bolt of rusty plows. Oh yeah.
He has not been using the lean theory of agricultural
He
management.
inspects the truck every time I go to the dump to make sure I haven't snuck anything on, because I try.
So now, do you see any changes or adjustments moving forward with the farm? You've been here so many generations, and I know there's been change through that.
We've had to change. We've gone through a lot of different things that we've tried, like online markets and online ordering and packing. We do, you know, CSAs and farm shares and all sorts of different approaches to try and get vegetables to people as easy as possible. And it's just interesting, you know, how when I was growing up, it was just people came to the farm. They just came and bought and shopped, and that was it. Now, I mean, we're packing the truck 3 days a week to go to farmers markets to bring it to the people, you know, and then they get there and they'll come late to the market and be like, oh, you're all out of this. I'm like, oh, well, it's right at the farm. Like, you can drive 8 minutes down the road, because all of our farmers markets we go to are within, you know, 5 to 10 miles of the
Wow.
farm itself. So it's not like they got to travel very far to get to us.
Right. But just that
But
5
oh no, we'll
minutes.
see you next week. It's like, okay.
I think that we live in this such a hurry up world that, I mean, people don't realize that to go to the farm and get something, you know, that should be a valuable time of their day. They get to see some chickens. They get to watch that rooster getting busy over there with a hen. Rock on, big son. And it's
visit your farmer.
It's not, I mean, it's about the experience too. You're not going to see this in Walmart.
No.
Well, we appreciate your time. We know how busy you are.
Yeah.
We just
Not a
appreciate
problem.
you
Thank you
sharing.
so much.
The more you can spread the word, it's always time to.
We feel the same
care.
way.
The
We
more
feel the same way.
Yeah, the more we can share information about farms and farmers like you and your family, we're going to do it. So I appreciate you taking the time.
I appreciate you taking the time to do something like this.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. So everybody has an interesting story and something that your nephew does.
Yep.
That's not farm related, but it's just from a servant's heart. This is unbelievable. Tell him the story.
So my nephew is Sam, and known around here as Sam the Bottle Man, and he's been doing this for the last few years. Collects bottles year round now. When it first started, it was just, you know, November, December, so he could buy Christmas gifts for the children at the hospital. And now he collects them year round, and he's up to collecting like between $15,000 and $20,000 a year. Last year, because of COVID, he had to just, you know, write them a check and hand it to them because they couldn't have things in out of the hospital and he couldn't go in. But the year before COVID, he raised $20,000, and we took a box truck to Target and bought thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars worth of toys, filled it and delivered it to the children's hospital the next morning. And I don't have the numbers off the top of my head, but he's up to at least 60,000 probably donating to the Barbara Bush Children's Hospital here in Maine. And just all because he wants to be, you know, give back and
Wow.
and it started, he said, I just want to make their day better, you know, like they're in the hospital, so he just wanted to make them smile.
Wow.
Isn't that an awesome story?
What a jewel of a young man.
He started when he was 12.
He's
No,
12 now.
He's
So
12
he started,
now.
so he was 7 when he just started. When he had the, you know, he had the idea like, I want to buy toys to give, and we're like, whoa, whoa, whoa. We're farmers, and his mother's a teacher and his father's a lobsterman, right? And we were all like, well, we don't have money to be buying toys, so he thought, well, bottles get me money, right? 5 cents at a time. That first year, he collected $900 worth of bottles, and then every year then he's just grown and grown and grown.
At the same time, recycling.
Yeah.
Right. That's amazing. Now, is there any way if somebody wanted to make a cash donation and they're not here locally?
Yep, he has his own Venmo account for Sam the Bottle Man, and that's how a lot of people, you know, donate, you know, when they can't get to him and the bottles, because he's been on the radio, the news locally here.
Right.
You know.
Well, let's spread this throughout the United States, because
Yeah.
I know there are a lot of people who love a servant's heart, especially with a young man like that. So Sam the Bottle Man, go to Venmo. You can donate and help support his fantastic cause. Looks like y'all are raising them right here in Maine.
Trying to.
How awesome.